The whole world is transient, only the soul is eternal. Realization of one's own soul, only that is eternal. कहा न राज को कर नमन, करू महान यह काज। आत्मज्ञान की प्राप्ति है, मंगलमय सुख साज। मंगलमय सुख साज। The whole world is transient, only the soul is eternal. Realization of one's own soul, only that is eternal. The soul is pure, full of knowledge and infinite bliss. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul, and separate from the body and all types of material outer objects related to body. I am the pure soul. Just be aware each and every moment that I am the soul and separate from the body and all types of material outer objects. Not only material outer objects, but all the modifications of the soul. Because the modifications of the soul are momentary and the soul is eternal. Modifications are momentary, transient, impermanent, and the soul is eternal. I am the eternal soul. Just be aware each and every moment. Awareness is the supreme religion. Just be aware that I am the soul. I am the soul. I am the soul. And when you will contemplate that I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, and you will attain the self-realization. You will attain unperturbed state of the soul. In spite of being with the body, you will attain the state that you are out of the body. At that moment, you will not have perturbed thought that you are out of the body. Whole world will see you that you are with the body. But you only will realize that you are out of the body. That is the self-realization. That is the realization of the self, realization of the eternal soul. Realization of eternal soul. I am the eternal soul. Whatever comes from outside will go outside. Money comes from outside, and therefore money goes back outside. We eat food. Food comes from outside, and therefore food goes outside. We drink water. Water comes from outside, and therefore water goes outside. We take a breath. Air comes from outside, and therefore air goes outside. Whatever will come from outside will go outside. Whatever will come from within, it will stay forever. Self-realization. Whenever the soul attains the self-realization, soul attains the self-realization from within, and therefore self-realization remains forever. Self-realization, self-realization, self-realization. Self-realization is not important. Most important is the self. Because when you will realize that who am I, at that moment you will realize that I am the soul, and you will realize eternal pure soul. At that moment you will be out of the body. At that moment you will be with body, but you are not with the body. At that moment you have attained unperturbed state of the soul. That is the self-realization. That is the self-realization. Where is that soul? Soul is not lost. Knowledge of the soul is lost. One person is finding the key. He is searching where is the key. He is not able to search the key, and he says, key is lost. Key is not lost. Key is in the house only, but the knowledge of the key is lost. Similarly, the soul is not lost, but the knowledge that I am the soul is lost. And when you will attain the knowledge that I am the soul, you will attain the soul. And awareness is the supreme religion that I am the soul. 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 During the war between India and Pakistan, who were they who killed each other? Hindu killed Muslim and Muslim killed Hindu. We call them religious. Who goes to the temple? Who goes to the mosque? The people who used to go to temple and pray twice a day, but they killed Muslim. People who used to go to the mosque and pray 5 times in a day, but they killed Hindu. How is it possible religious person can kill other religious person? How is it possible? Just because of one reason. They believed that we are Hindu. They believed that we are Muslim. But they did not believe that we are human being. And I am talking one step above. Don't believe that I am human being. Believe that I am the soul, I am God. I am the soul at that moment. Whatever you will see, you will see. Each and every moment you will realize that I am the God. I am the God. I remember one incident. Today, it's anniversary of that day. That's the reason I remember that incident. I visited USA consulate. I applied for USA visa. And there were 7 applicants before me in the queue. And they all got rejected. When my turn came, officer asked me the question, "What do you do?" And I replied, "I am a spiritual motivator." "What is it?" I replied, "I give discourses on truth and non-violence." "What is truth and non-violence?" she asked me. And I replied, "I am the soul and single atom of the universe. Does not belong to me. This is the truth. And when you realize this truth, you attain the state of non-violence." She said, "Your visa has been approved for 10 years. It was the fruition of the karma. But what I want to say, that if you have attained yourself, that there is no distinguish. You will see each soul as God. Each soul as God. Each soul as a God. And that's the reason when the soul attains the self-realization, he thinks differently. Not only differently, but he thinks opposite. What ignorant people think, and enlightened soul thinks opposite. Whole world call See, there is a dog, but enlightened soul don't see God. God. Don't see dog, but see God. God opposite. Don't see D, O, G, but sees G, O, D. Each soul is God. It doesn't matter that dog doesn't know that I am God. When someone says smallest particle of matter is atom, which cannot be seen by eyes, but each atom is independent. Each atom is separate, and each atom does not require anybody else. Each atom is individual. Whenever ignorant people say Nigod, Nigod, enlightened soul says Nigod, Nigod. It doesn't matter. There is God in Nigod, 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 Nigod. It doesn't matter. It doesn't know that I am God. No idea that I am God. No idea. And no idea. And no idea that I am God. It is Nigod, Nigod. But enlightened soul sees each soul as God. Each soul as God. When you realize that I am Dev, 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 D-E-V, Dev, Dev ek vitragi, Dev. But when you realize that you are Dev, then you have known all the Ved, Dev and Ved. When you realize that I am Dev, then you have learnt all the Ved, Dev, Ved. When you realize that I am Nij, Nij, when you realize that Nij, at that moment you will realize Nij, not only Nij, but Jin. I am Jin. I am Jin. I have the potential power to be God. I have capacity of omniscient knowledge. Right now I do not have the ability. Both are different, capacity and ability. I have the capacity of omniscient knowledge, and omniscient God has capacity and the ability to know whole universe in one moment. But when you realize that who am I, Nij, at that moment you will realize that I am Jin. I am Jin. I am Jin. Whole world will say World will say you are impure. You ask, impure? 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 There is no impurity. There is no impurity because impure word says I am pure. I am pure. Impure word says that I am pure. The soul is pure even though it is impure. The soul is pure. The soul is pure. The soul is pure. I am pure soul. I am pure soul. I am pure soul. Oh, I am the pure soul. The pure soul. You will have the realization of the eternal. You will have right belief, right knowledge, right conduct. You will attain these three jewels. When you will attain the self-realization, you will have right belief, Shraddha. 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 Right belief is only possible when you have wisdom of the transient. You have gone many times to the mountain. At the top of the mountain, you seated there. But what did you achieve? Nothing. But if you will contemplate that I am the soul and I am not the body, body is eternally dead. Because soul is separate from the body is eternally dead. I am not the body. I am not the body. I am not the body. Body is dead. When you will do Shraddha of the body, your own body, when you will have Shraddha of your own body, at that moment you will have Shraddha in your own soul. Shraddha of the body and Shraddha of the soul. The soul. The soul. The soul and body both are together, but both are separate. Body is like, I can say, in practical life, the body is the hardware and the soul is the software. When I have traveled 153 countries around the globe, I have visited many university library. Lots of books were there. But wherever I visited university library, every time I remembered, the soul is the software. I am the software of university library, software of university library. Software S of O university U library L. I am the soul. Software of university library. University, wherever you and whatever you will see, you will realize that I am the God, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul. Oh. I am the soul. I am God. I am not here to pray to God day and night. I am here to meditate on own soul. I have visited many churches. Whenever I visit churches, mosque, Hindu temple, Shiv temple, university library, public library, wherever I visit, even in the prison, wherever I visit, I say, each soul is God. Then they feel, how is it possible? Oh my God! They say, oh my God! And at that moment I say to them, don't say, oh my God! Don't say, oh my God. Because when you say my God, that means you created the distance between you and God. What do we say? We say, this is my money. We say, this is my car. This is my bungalow. But we don't say, this is my male, my female. We don't say. We say, I am male, I am female. Not my, but I. When you say my, then you create distance. So don't say, oh my God. Don't say, oh my God. Oh, I am God. God is not mine. I am God, myself, myself, myself. I am God. Each and every moment you realize that I am God. At that moment you will have that state, I am the God. I am. People read lots of scriptures. They get the knowledge, but not understanding. And knowledge is not so important. Most important is understanding. And that's the reason Param Kripalu Dev Srimad Rajchandra and Pujya Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami, they preach જે સ્વરૂપ સમજ્યા વિના પામ્યો દુઃખ અનંત. The soul has been suffering infinite, untold sorrow without understanding the nature of the self. Without understanding. Param Kripalu Dev said, without understanding, samjhya vina. And Pujya Gurudev Sri Kanchi Swami always used to ask, समझाणु काई, not जनायु काई. कुछ समझ में आया? Understanding is most important, and knowledge and understanding both are different. Knowledge is knowledge, but knowledge with belief is understanding. When you read the scriptures, when you listen to the discourses, you will collect the knowledge but not understanding. But when you will contemplate on it, at that moment, you have started your journey towards self-realization. Understanding is most important. Please understand. Please understand. Please understand. Please understand. This body is not me. I am the neighbor of the body. I am the traveler. Traveling in this vehicle. Very soon I am going to renounce this vehicle. I am the traveler. Now you will not understand. You will understand very soon. You will understand very soon. I am the ash wall neighbor. This body is ash wall. This body is ash wall. And I am the neighbor of this ash wall. I am the neighbor of the ash wall. This wall has no bricks, but this wall has bones. There is no sand and cement in this wall, but there is food and flesh in this wall. There is no water in this wall, but there is blood in this wall. There is no plaster and paint on this wall, but there is skin and hair on this wall. If there is a room, and room has 4 walls, walls are 4, but the door is 1. Walls are 4 and door is 1. Here, the wall is 1, but the doors are 9. Outer wall has One door. And this wall has 9 doors. One nine, 19. One nine. You just enter. You just realize, I am the soul. I am God. I am God. I am God. This is ash wall. If it rains, then wall will be wet, moist. When it's raining of compassion, at that time tears flow from eyes and this wall gets wet. But I am not the ash wall. I am the neighbor of the ash wall. I am the neighbor of the ash wall. I am eternally palace of the soul. I just observe from the window of knowledge to my neighbor, which is ash wall, and always separate. Remember, window is not to go outside. Window is just to observe, just to watch, just to see. I am eternally in the palace of the soul, and I observe from the window of knowledge to my neighbor, which is ash wall. I don't ask you to go to the temple. There are lots of temples and lots of people go to the temple. Do you call them religious? Sometimes you will feel people go to the temple. They call themselves that they are religious, but you will not find even humanity. But don't see them. What they do, just see them. They are God. They have no idea. They have not realized that they are God. They are God. They have not realized their own self. That's why I don't ask you to go to the temple. I ask you, you go to the crematorium. You just watch burning fire. You just watch dead body is burning. And the same thing is going to be happen with this body But I am not going to be there. I am eternally pure soul. I am eternally pure soul. Param Kripalu Dev, the ocean of compassion. He used to say, go to the crematorium and watch what happens there. Be practical. I remembered 1500 scriptures with page number and line number. But I did not attain anything. But when I experienced the earthquake in 2001 and tsunami in 2004, when you will see the dead bodies of 230,000 people, it was like a mountain of the dead bodies. And at that moment you will have the wisdom of the transient. Without it, it is not possible to attain the self-realization. Even though you have remembered thousands of scriptures, you have done lots of rituals, physical rituals, you have done a lot, fasting, vows, penance. But what have you achieved except pride, ego? See, I have done this and no one can do what I did. But when you realize your own self, you will have the scriptures of the knowledge and all vows, penance. But you will not do. You will just observe. You will just watch and you will see that all the physical action is related to matter and all the feelings, auspicious feelings to follow these rituals, they are momentary, they are impure, and they are cause of heavenly being, but not the cause of liberation. There is only one way to attain liberation, when you realize that I am the full of knowledge. I am the soul. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul. Just observe this body. Just observe, and at that moment you will realize this body is like a land only. This body is like land only. This body is like a land on. I remember India on earth. Whenever I read earth, I read census number 5. Number 5. Year. When I read earth, I read year. Year number 5th. TH. Ear, th, ear, th, number fifth, ear, sense, number 5, number fifth, earth. When I read earth, I remember this body is earth. And there is India. Earth, India. India. Something is in. What is it? It is Diya. In Diya. Diya. Illuminated lamp of knowledge. Diya. The soul is the illuminated lamp of knowledge. Eternally exist. I am the lamp of knowledge. I am the God. The God. The God. When you will have this knowledge, then you are God. Jnana of Deepak. Jnana of Deepak. Knowledge of the eternal lamp of knowledge. Jnana of Deepak is God. You realize that you are God. I am God. Every moment when you realize that this body is the atom, and at that moment you will not distinguish human into caste and creed. You will not realize human into caste and creed. When you see all liberated souls and non-liberated souls as God, then where is the caste and creed? Why should we distinguish human into caste and creed? When you understand the eternal nature of the soul, then you understand there is no difference. Why should we distinguish? Why should we have this type of feelings of partiality? When nature does not have the feeling of partiality, then why do we have the feelings of partiality? Have you ever thought, doesn't sunlight reach to the street where poor people live? The people whom you call lower caste people, have you ever thought lower caste people, if they come out of the house, if they divert their attention towards moon, then can't see that there is moon? When sun and moon, when nature have no partiality, then why do we have these types of feelings of partiality? Each soul can attain the self-realization and be religious. Each soul, each soul, and at that time you have grasped the essence of all infinite, omniscient God's preaching. And at that time, if you will have no knowledge of the scripture, but you have known everything. You have known everything. Just contemplate to attain this state. Always try to be in the association of Sadguru. Sadguru who has realized own self. Just try to be with those people who talk about the soul, nothing else. No gossip anymore. Don't waste a single moment of this human life. Heavenly being also cry when we will get human birth, and we have got already, and we are waiting that when we'll become heavenly being. What is this? We have got this human life not to become heavenly being. We have got this human life to realize own self and attain the liberation where infinite liberated soul exists. Just try to understand. Just try to understand the essence of enlightened souls preaching. Don't see the finger, just look at the moon. There are multiple viewpoints. There are multiple logical viewpoints. Theoretical viewpoint says the soul is not bound. Practical viewpoint says the soul is bound. But these are the fingers which indicates to the moon. These are two perspectives. But don't give importance to perspective. Moon is important and the soul is eternally pure moon. There is blur in the moon, but eternal nature of the soul, there is no blur, which is completely pure. And you will realize when your own nature, you will realize in spite of body is walking, but you are eternally steady. Body is walking, but you are not walking. You are just observing that body is walking, but you are not there. You are not there. Body will eat the food, hands will move, but you will only observe that I am not moving, I am just observing, I am just knowing, nothing else. I am the knower, not the doer. Whenever you will contemplate, I am the knower, I am the knower, I am the knower. I am the knower. Omniscient knowledge is not important, but the knowledgeable soul is important. Because omniscient knowledge is modification, and the soul is eternal substance. There are 6 substances in this universe: the soul, matter, ether, anti-ether, space, and time. But except the soul, all 5 substances that do not have power to know. The soul has power to know own self and other 5 as well. And that's the reason the soul is first. Body is the matter. Matter which has attributes like touch, taste, smell, color. And the soul has no touch, taste, smell, color. These are the attributes of the matter. But both the substances, soul and matter, both have the power to move and stop. And the substance which becomes the instrumental cause to move soul and matter, that is ether. And which is the instrumental cause to stop the soul and matter, it is anti-ether. And space, where all 5 substances stay, and the substance which is the instrumental cause to change all the substances, that is time. But I am the soul. I am the soul. Just be aware that I am the soul. I am the soul. I am the soul. I am the soul. self-realization, you will have the realization of eternal nature. I asked someone that, can you tell something about sugar? One said the sugar is bound, and another person says sugar is not bound. But when I asked to the third person, and he replied sugar is sweet, he didn't bother whether sugar is bound or not bound. Sugar is sweet. It's the nature of the sugar. Sugar is full of sweet. In the same way, do not focus that soul is bound or not bound. Just focus that soul is full of knowledge. I am the ash wall's neighbor. You cannot see me. You can just see my neighbor collection of atoms. If you want to see me, you will have to see yourself. You will have to realize yourself. Then you will see each soul as God. When you realize that I am God, I am God, I am God.